This is going to be a fairly short one today. Now, early this week, for the first time, I watched the Truman Show. I know it's hard to believe that I hadn't seen it in all these years. I've seen extracts and I've seen videos about it. And was it Channel Moon on YouTube had done quite an interesting take on that and what it's all about. Anyway, so I finally got round to watching it, which it was interesting. There's a lot in that. There's a lot to unpack in that story, and you could say in a certain way it is a metaphor for all of us, and that we just kind of go along with what we're told, what's expected of us, because it's easier, probably, to be honest. It's easier just to go along with things than it is to challenge. And when you challenge things, there's obstacles. There's your own internal voice, of course, plus other people, your family, your friends, people you work with, the neighbours, blah blah blah. They'll all kind of say, "Oh, don't rock the boat. Be sensible." We've all seen it with people who are taking an alternative view on anything. That if you are not following the mainstream narrative on things like the disease that was around a couple of years ago and is seemingly coming back again, on your attitudes towards government, towards the medical industry, etc., etc. You're at even things like environmentalism. If you question whether climate change is actually a real thing, or if our ecological problems are to do with other things, such as excessive use of pesticides and sort of poor practices in farming and in food, and pollution, especially plastics. The industries that control all of this, they have a vested interest in getting you to just go along with the carbon credits, blah de blah. Don't question the narrative. Nothing to see here. It's the same old thing. And ultimately the Truman Show, when you step out of that door into a different world, you're literally leaving behind everything you've known. And if you do dare to sort of be different, you risk being ostracized by all your friends, your family, etc., etc. And it all depends on what's more important to you. For some people, it's more important to be liked and loved by people than it is to actually know what the truth is and to inform others of what the truth is. Ultimately, I think, if you have a strong moral compass, if you may be coming from a spiritual perspective as well, truth is very important. So, the comfort, being liked and sort of admired and loved, maybe for many of us, that's less important than actually honesty, being truthful about what's going on in the world around us and in our own lives as well. Which brings me to something recently. We see the very famous Russell Brand. He's been accused of all kinds of things. So there's no prosecution happening at the moment, but the media seem to be treating it as if it's all true. And who knows, maybe it is true. I mean, none of us really know for sure. We all know that from his own admission that he was very promiscuous. Maybe he was manipulative. Maybe he wasn't. We don't really know. But, in the absence of actual evidence, in the absence of actual real testimony and a court case and, a prosecution, he hasn't been arrested It's, I think you have to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, well, we do not know. I wouldn't say he's innocent. I wouldn't say he's guilty. All you can say is, we do not know what the story is with this man. And we shouldn't be rushing to condemn him when we really do not know what the truth is. But it does strike me, it's somewhat convenient. He's been very critical of Big Pharma. He's been very, very critical of government, of the Biden administration. He's been critical of Trump as well. He's been critical of the so-called elites, so the topmost people who own everything and run the world, basically. So he's made himself quite unpopular with those people. So it doesn't seem much of a coincidence to me that, here's a guy that's upsetting the upper echelons of society, and now he's been unpersoned. He's been basically cancelled. Reputation destruction is a very powerful weapon that's been used, by many different regimes across time. So it's nothing new to see someone's reputation sort of dragged through the mud to discredit them. In some cases it might be valid. Obviously, with the people like Jimmy Savile, he was a disgusting and evil human being, and his reputation was rightly destroyed. But there are many people who have been savaged by the media, not because they were evil or done nothing wrong, but because they were dissidents, because they were politically disadvantageous, and so they needed to be put in their place and silenced, because they might do damage to people in high places and their friends. So I really don't know what the truth is there, but I'm not at all surprised by what's happened. And I think anyone that's prepared to rock the boat, you do run the risk of being cancelled. You run the risk of being vilified and made an example of by the mainstream media, by government. It's a risk being a dissident. So, going back to the beginning, we could all choose to leave the Truman Show, so to speak. But there is a price for that, in that you often have to leave behind things that you might like. If you want to see what's on the other side of that door, there is a cost. Anyway, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe if you enjoy my channel. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Bye for now.